Juj and Ma'juj. There are a lot of people who make conclusions, and we all know we're talking about Imran Hussein and his little band of believers. And I say that it may sound disrespectful because I don't respect the way they go about doing things. So I don't respect it. So if it's like sounds disrespectful, it is. Reason being is this. If you are someone who claims to study and you cannot separate between a fact and a theory, and you don't know the levels in Islam of what is differed upon and what is not allowed to be differed upon, then who taught you? I said one of the first things that you ever study is what is something that can be differed upon and what is something that can't be differed upon. Theories about who is Ya'juj and Ma'juj, how the sun is going to rise from the west, are worth a hill of beans. I'm telling you. And in terms of ilm, I've never seen any scholar get into this with that depth, nor ever conflate it with a fact to the point that they will get red in the face and go after you and get heated with anyone who doesn't agree with it. So forget the theory. Analyzing the theory is the least important thing. But how are you treating the theory? If you're treating the theory as a fact, this is why exactly why Sayyidina Ja'far as-Sadiq said, Al-ilm ma'rifat ikhtilaf al-ulama. Having true knowledge is to know the differences of opinions between the scholars, and it means two things. It means, number one, what can have an opinion in the first place and what can't. There's no opinion on qat'iyat. There is opinion on dhanniyat. Mutashabihat, maybe some of the ulama have ta'wilat, but the majority should not delve into them one way or the other. Just leave it as it is, recite it and move on. But qat'iyat, or dhanniyat, or even, this is not even dhanniyat, this is more like awham. A wahm is something that has proof that is less than 50%. So you have a qat'i, 100%. Dhanni could be very solid, 99.9% all the way down to 50.1%, right? A lot of confidence, but can't say 100%, and very little confidence. Or it's possible. Shak is 50-50. And really, like these numbers, these percentages are just, we're just saying these percentages as so we can understand. But shak is when something's pretty much 50-50. I really don't know. That which has less evidence than that is called a wahm. It's a complete imagination. But I highly recommend the people who are into those ideas and into those, conspiracy theories. This is like a Reddit version of Islam. It is. This is the Reddit world of Islam. If you're into that, fine, be into it, but know where it is. It's in the level of awham or dhanniyat or shukuk even. You can't go around treating this like it's actual fact. You can't do this to these types of people who are spending 99% of their time on the Illuminati or the Jinn or Akhir Zaman or the Dajjal, or who is Ya'juj wa Ma'juj, and is it the Khazarian Jews, and is it the Turks, or is it the Chinese, or is every decade is somebody different. Whoever is powerful, it's Ya'juj and Ma'juj at that time. One of the tricks of Iblis is to get a person to focus virtue on something that is outside of day-to-day life, that is almost imaginary. Such that, now if you look at the Marxists, they're all about this. The Marxists, they care about justice. They care about sharing. But their concern about sharing is in this large theoretical that may or may not even have any tangible existence. The prophets call you to bring your focus of virtue back onto what is right in front of you. This is one of the biggest tricks of Iblis, and is the difference between a satanic distraction and deflection of virtue and the prophetic way. He does that so that you can ignore what is right in front of you, so that you can ignore the people that you have in your own home, in your own community, on your own street. Theoretical virtue is the trick of Iblis. And when effort is being poured, effort upon effort, and time after time, hour after hour is being spent on something that is pure theory, you made Shaitan happy. He took your goodness and he made you waste it in imagination. It's out there in nothing. But what he doesn't want you to do is forget all that nonsense. Why don't you look around in your immediate circle who needs help? I remember reading in an example where a man lives with his mom. Then he keeps praying for his mother's spiritual state. The sheikh was like, hold on, doesn't your mom, isn't she working overtime? He keeps praying for his mom's spiritual state. My spiritual state is something you can't see. Does your mom work overtime? Yeah, she does. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I go to school and I study. Okay, but your mom's working overtime. She's a single mom. She's working overtime. He said the right path is forget all this talk about your mom's spiritual state and worry about her financial and physical state. She's exhausted every single day. And that was like a big shock to the guy. He was like, this is the last thing I expected. I thought the sheikh would be all about the concern for her spiritual state. So you see here that there's imaginary virtue. Shaitan has deflected your goodness. And then there's actual in focus day-to-day virtue. Isn't that a common deflection of Iblis? Area that has no impact on real day-to-day life. And you debate people, 18-year-old who debates you on the Khilafah. 18-year-old who debates you that Ya'juj and Ma'juj is the Khazarian Jews. Okay, what impact does this have on anyone's day-to-day life, right? Like, if you took that energy and you put it into your home, your whole family would be converts. They'd all enter Islam. You see how good this kid becomes. But it's Iblis. It's one of the tricks of Shaitan to deflect goodness. And when you look at the prophets, what do? They come and they're like, oh, that person needs a meal. That person needs help crossing the road. This person needs help moving. Show me one hadith where the Prophet ﷺ gives a whole long lecture on the political theory of Islam. So it's like something where if you look at the nubuwah, it goes to what is right in front of you, and that actually grows. Whereas you could talk theory all day long, Iblis is happy with you.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما